So we got aliens, three suns, nanotechnology, virtual reality, a freaking unfolding of a proton, and good old existentialism. Need I say more? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Read to Fill. I'm so glad that you made it here. Today is a very momentous day for me because this is my first ever book review. Yay! And I couldn't be more happy to do my first book review on a book that invigorates my reading spirit and that kind of pushed me forward from a reading slump. And that book is The Three Body Problem by, I'm so sorry for anybody who's speaking Mandarin, Cixin Liu. I devoured this book in like a week, like 3 days in a week. It was so good. The characters, the story, the settings, everything worked so well for me. And as a lover of sci-fi, I mean, it hits the spot for me for sure. So I'm very excited to be diving into this book. I first heard about this book through the Netflix series. And I mean, that's like you're gonna see that's with a lot of books and that I'm gonna be reviewing on this channel because most of the time I heard about the book from a media source, like a series or a movie. Then I was like, oh, I didn't know it. Then it was from a book. So I usually bought the book and I read it and then I watch the series or movie afterward. So this is one of those. I watched the trailer for the Netflix series and I got interested and I bought the book and the rest was history. So let's dive in. I mean, let's start with a quick synopsis of the book. It's your classic alien invasion story. Like, you know, War of the Worlds, Independence Day, Arrival, those sort of things. But for me, most aliens invasion story has always given me that bit of existentialism, and I feel like this book really dive into that whole part of humanity and, you know, can we really trust humanity as a species and how small we are compared to the grandiose of the universe. The plot of the book revolves around a bunch of scientists unaliving themselves for some reason, and the book kind of go back and forth of this another main character and her journey on basically discovering these aliens and basically betraying humanity. So I love that the back and forth, like the flashback when they flashback between the past and the present, is done pretty well. It's done like easy enough for me to keep following and not get lost in like the back and like the time jumps. A lot of books does time jumps and flashback very, very, very weird, and I don't enjoy when they just make everything so complicated and so too much back and forth is not good. But they keep the pacing of the book, like they keep the rhythm of the flashback and the present pretty well, so I'm happy about that. The plot in general, I mean, there's nothing else to say. I mean, it's a really compelling plot. It's aliens coming to get us, this betrayal of humans. I mean, we're gonna dive into the character in a little bit, but the plot sold me. It's just a classic alien invasion story with a bit of existentialism. And then when it comes to the setting, like the world building, it's pretty. It's pretty standard for a sci-fi series. You know, it's set in usually more of a real world setting in. It's jumped back. It's mostly set in China, and the timeline is usually it's jumped back between like the culture revolution era, so like the 1960s, like 1970s, and then like the current modern day. And I like that the book doesn't, well, I guess the author doesn't really stray from the brutalism and like the whole political side of the Cultural Revolution. I personally do not know that much information about the Cultural Revolution. All I know is it's a thing, very unfortunate thing that happened in China back in the 60s, and there's a lot of bloodshed, a lot of betrayal, and oof, I mean, I'm probably gonna find a book about the Cultural Revolution. If anybody know a good book about the Cultural Revolution, tell me in the comments. And then the characters. There's a host of main characters throughout the series. Most of them are Chinese descent, which is pretty nice. The story kind of revolves around like two people. One of them is a scientist who has to endure the Cultural Revolution, kind of like the author. Well, I don't know if he specifically had. I don't think he just moved away whenever the Cultural Revolution happened. So I don't think he actually endures it. But like the author, she also had the Cultural Revolution greatly affect her in her life, and that also made her make a decision later on in her life that humanity is fucked and we can't be trusted with ourselves, with our own future. And the other main character is nanotechnology scientist. He work on nanotechnology. He's the one that we are given into the story that he was pushed into the plot because he starts seeing countdown numbers in his eyes. And yeah, throughout the story he's kind of just he kind of like I feel like he's kind of like most of the regular protagonists, where they just shelve into the plot and they're just reacting to things. I think that's just how he is most of the time. He just like, oh holy, there's aliens now, why am I seeing numbers, like it's it's really funny seeing him just going through the motions, going through everything, and not surprisingly not have not yet go insane, because a lot of other scientists did. They unalive themselves. So the rest of the characters, it's a lot of people have kind of an idea that most of the characters are very it doesn't seem human enough. They seem kind of robotic, and like they doesn't seem like they emote enough. I think I kind of agree with that point. It seems like most of the character in the book are like the characters are written to serve the plot and not the other way around. There should. I'm not a writer or anything, an expert in literature, but I feel like there should be a balance between like the character exists irreverence in the plot, and the plot serving the character, because we humans, we love stories, we love seeing like the hero's journey or whatever. would be nice to see a little bit, maybe a little bit more of the character arcs, maybe in later books in the series. But the characters are fine. I mean, I would probably expect it to behave that way if I was alive during the Culture Revolution, or if I see most of my friends and colleagues just unalive themselves mysteriously. I feel like I would react the same way like the character does in the book. Most of the science in the book has been not hard, which is saying a lot for me because I'm really, really, really dumb when it comes to like these scientific theories and stuff. They explain the scientific process and concept pretty well, I think. I don't know, it would be easier for people to understand it if it was written in like their original Mandarin languages. But since this is a translated copy, I don't know if there's something has been lost in translation. Most of the sciences in this book is pretty like, I wouldn't say it is not that dumbed down for like the regular layman, but I think it's kept in a pretty understandable like level of concept. Like you can understand. You can have it gave a pretty descriptive definition for most things, and like you can imagine it happen. You can imagine things. At least for me, I can imagine like what those, like how the three body problem works, or how the protein unfolding itself. That was crazy. I I saw I when I read that part, and I was like, I cannot wait to see how they visualize it in the series, because that just blow my mind. The science and the political aspect of the science itself is mentioned quite a bit, during the Cultural Revolution. Like there's a lot of discourse around like Western scientific achievement ideology, which again I don't know how true that is. I don't know much about the Cultural Revolutions, but it seems that's what was the theme was is well, the general theme was like scientific achievement. If we just stop making achievement in science, then we are doomed as a human species, which is true. I think that is very true. We need science to go forward. We need science to survive this universe. So that whole process with the aliens figuring that out and making the sophons, which is the protein unfolding on, and I don't mean you had to read the book to understand that part. I'm still quite figuring out what a sophon is. It's just this is it microscopic? It's just like a proton unfolding. They unfold a proton and they put an AI supercomputer inside a proton. Yeah, it's insane. But yeah, it's the whole idea with halting like scientific achievement and the human knowledge. It's definitely one of the most fire sure plan that I ever seen coming from like an alien race that would like destroy human. Very insidious plan for sure. So good job, good job. What's their name? Trisolarians. Good job. You got that one. But then at the end, they're like, you are bugs. You're nothing but bugs. We're gonna crush you like those little bugs that you are. And I like that they're kind of like, well, bugs survives. They keep coming back. They still here. Like, and our Earth has went through like, I don't know, like 7 extinction or whatever. Our Earth had went to a lot, and bugs are still here. So at the end, our main heroes, it's just like we gonna survive no matter what. We're humans. We just we just gotta survive. We have to. It's just in our nature. So yeah, I'm very excited to read the rest of the series. I don't know how. I heard a lot of people say that The Dark Forest is the best out of the series. So I'm very, very, very excited to see if that is true. And it's just all around an amazing book. It's an amazing read. It's a page turner. It kept me on my toes. I always want to know what's gonna happen right after one another. The characters could use a little bit of work, but overall, still amazing characters, amazing concepts, and amazing science. I mean, if I had to give a rating for this book, I would say a 9 out of 10. Amazing, amazing sci-fi. I think this is one of the sci-fi books that if you are a sci-fi fan, this is a must read for you. I would think that a lot of sci-fi fan would enjoy this. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you're still, if you made it this far into my ramblings, and the next video will be probably another book review. I'm finishing up another book. It's very different from. It's not a sci-fi. It's a very chill, relaxing read, and I hope you're gonna like it. Besides that, yep, thank you for listening. And if you have any comments, opinions, anything you want to add about the three-body problem, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your opinions about the book if you have already read it. I hope you guys have a nice day and keep reading, keep learning, and keep living. Peace.